Bolton. And I welcome you all to the November to Remember series today, Tuesday, 29th November, 2022. Our special guest is Madam Jyotika Athavale. You're welcome, ma'am. And she'll be speaking with us on career development series, a holistic career path in STEM. And I find it really important for us to know who Madam Jyotika is. She is a senior technical leader in automotive functional safety at NVIDIA. She drives capability development, safety architectures and methodologies. She's into system safety engineering activities and pathfinding for safety. Prior to her position at NVIDIA, she was a principal engineer at Intel Corporation, where she led corporate-wide functional safety methodologies and drove platform architectures for automotive and avionics use cases. She currently serves as the 2023 President-elect and Distinguished Visitor of the Worldwide IEEE Computer Society, where she oversees the IEEE CS programs and operations. She chairs the IEEE P2851 standard on functional safety and interoperability, which has WG membership from over 30 companies. She is an industry-wide influencer in functional safety standardization initiatives across IEEE, ISO, UL, and SAE SDOs. For leadership and service, she was awarded the IEEE Computer Society Golden Core Award in 2022. She serves as various technical conference committees and has authored patents and many technical publications in various conferences and journals. During her 25-year career, she has held several people management and individual contributor roles in functional safety architecture, including quality and reliability engineering and software development. She's truly a woman of honor, and we're pleased to have her in our midst at the session of November to Remember series. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that kind introduction, and thank you for organizing the event and for inviting me. I'm very honored to be here with all of you, and I look forward to discussing this topic. So thank you again.
Okay.
Should I go ahead and share my screen?
Exactly, sure. Yes. Yeah, please go on.
Okay, perfect, thanks.
Hello.
All right, so let's see. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, great. Perfect. So thanks everyone again for joining us today, and many thanks for organizing. I look forward to talking to you all about career development. Today, in the slide set that I have, there's two main themes to the topic. The first one is talking about holistic career paths in STEM and career development in general. I have a few slides on that. And then as the second part of the presentation, a few slides on emerging technologies and what IEEE Computer Society is doing in the field of standardization initiatives for emerging tech. There's one example, which is the IEEE B2851. I have a few slides on that. It's one of the standardization initiatives in functional safety. So we can talk about that as well. So with that, I'll go ahead and kick it off. You know, all of us here today are in the technical field, but just a few slides about why the technical field is important, and you know, what is the benefit of driving activities related to the technical field, to STEM, and to emerging technologies. So what we see here on the left are some of the top 10 emerging technologies in 2022. Of course, AI, NVIDIA, where I work at, is an AI company. AI is the backbone of a lot of emerging technologies today, as we are driving, fostering, and supporting innovation in all of these emerging technologies. We need to consider AI, other emerging technologies that are relevant for all of the innovation that's happening today, the intersection of many different disciplines. We have quantum computing, blockchain technology, IoT, which covers a spectrum of various applications, including industrial, medical, automotive, etc. RPA, voice assistance, cloud computing, augmented reality, genetic prediction, and so on, and 5G, and several more. But just to kind of give a flavor of what we refer to as emerging technologies. And when we choose the technical field, when we choose a STEM career path, we are basically open the doorway to contributing to all of these emerging technologies, which allows you to use your creativity, to leverage your natural inclination and your skills to to contribute to these advancements in various technological initiatives. Choosing the technical field also allows you to research a new and challenging area. So this in particular is really interesting to me as well personally, because it allows you to look at forward-looking, the next 5 to 10 years, allows you to be a strategic thinker, and allows you to work on technologies that are still in incubation, before they actually develop and grow and are taken out to production. So, as a student or as an early career professional, you can contribute to emerging technology areas that you are passionate about. You can do research at your university. You can do research in collaboration with an industry partner. You can join conferences, present papers, or connect with other people in the field and exchange ideas and thoughts. You can start new initiatives in the computer society related to these emerging technologies. So there's a lot of different ways in which you can get involved and engaged. I just wanted to share that. And of course, at the end of the presentation, we can have some discussion and brainstorm other ideas that you may have, either to drive initiatives in your local chapter, or globally within IEEE Computer Society as well. So the journey from starting to choose the technical career path, even as a student, even back in middle school, high school, as you pursue your undergraduate degree, as you become a professional, that entire journey is a journey of learning, researching, and contributions to technological advancement. Even after more than 25 years in the industry now, I still consider myself a student. Learning. The path is constantly evolving. Technologies are continuing to grow and evolve, and so you constantly have to stay in that learning path, researching, pathfinding, and looking at the new ways in which technologies can grow and be applicable to the fields or the disciplines in which you are contributing to. The journey also allows you to tailor the technical activities to the needs of the evolving business environment. So this is kind of where the industry aspect comes in. So, I mean, as a student or as a professor, in the university, your work is more research oriented, is more looking at the academic aspects of technology. But when we tie in this work to the industry, that's where we look at the business environment, the market analysis, and how does the work that we are doing in the technical field align with the market need, align with the business need. And it's really that intersection of the market with the technical contribution that allows your work to succeed and flourish. So that's one of the ways, one of the aspects that I encountered as I grew my career in industry as well, is looking for areas where the work was useful to the end user. Seek motivation in projects that invoke your strengths. This in particular was important to me as well as I grew my career. We all have our innate or natural strengths. And it is those strengths that we need to invoke and utilize and leverage in order to be successful. So there are certain skills that are learned or gained on the job, and then there are certain natural strengths that we all have, and it's those natural strengths that will help us succeed in whatever field we pick, including the technical field. For example, some of us are logical thinkers, we have a logical mindset, and for engineering or for even a software engineering profession, that innate skill is very beneficial. So invoking those natural strengths that we have, working on developing them and growing them is certainly very important and relevant in whatever field we choose. See here. All right, so the rewards, sorry, I'll just move this here. The rewards of IEEE Computer Society volunteering. So I think there's many rewards. Some of you, I'm sure, are already members of IEEE Computer Society, possibly student members. There are so many ways in which you can volunteer with the Computer Society. We actually have a page on the IEEE Computer Society that we recently revamped after our Board of Governors meeting in San Diego a couple of weeks ago, where you can browse through and look at all of the different activities and how you can get involved or engaged or contribute to any one of those areas, such as conferences, such as standardization initiatives, such as publishing articles, papers, in our magazines, etc., so publications. Mentoring or doing webinars. There's various different activities that you can get involved in. However you choose to participate, volunteering with the IEEE Computer Society, I've found to be a very enriching experience. It's great for you to learn the technical aspects or grow your skills, gain certifications, but also it's great for personal development. And as you network with others, as you engage with others, as you mentor others, you grow as a person as well. So it's enriching experience, I guess, from the entire 360, or your entire T-shaped personality. You also, it's a great platform to inspire the next generation of engineers and technologists to pursue the engineering discipline. This is where I am very passionate. Also, there's outreach programs that you can participate in. You can go to your local middle school or high school, your local chapter, and talk to students and talk to others about the work that you do and how it's relevant, and try to inspire and inform the next generation about why being engaged in STEM or being engaged in these emerging technologies is important and relevant to our work, our day-to-day activities, and our future. I think this is an important role. I also see that as a responsibility that we have as an engineering student, as an engineering professional, to inspire and lead the way for the next generation to pursue the engineering disciplines. Next, IEEE Computer Society is a platform that allows you to be creative and shape your ideas. So, it's really this free form platform where you can bring in your proposal, you can bring in any thoughts, allows you to be creative and present your proposal and bring it to fruition, right? So I think it's really that uh, platform where people are willing to listen to your ideas, people are allowing you to give shape to your ideas and to develop them and grow them. That's one that you may not have an opportunity to do elsewhere, maybe at work or maybe any other day-to-day activity that you are involved in. But the Computer Society has a great is a great platform where you can collaborate and really bring your ideas to fruition. Enables fostering innovation for the benefit of humanity. So as we already know, that is the IEEE theme, is to foster an innovation for the benefit of others. Um, and here's where we can all participate and contribute our work and our effort for the benefit of humanity. Now, IEEE is very unique because we are kind of the glue that connects all of these different applications or different technologies across the spectrum. And since the innovation is right now happening at the intersection of those technologies, we are really in a position where we are able to support that innovation or that, foster those activities versus, just working on, say, one specific area, be it medical or industrial or automotive or servers or networking. You're working on a specific field, but here you kind of bring together all of those computing applications together, and you can look at various ways in which you can foster or support innovation and creativity in at those intersections. So many ways in which you can contribute, get engaged, and do work for the benefit of humanity moving forward. A little bit about career transitions, and we all go through these, transitions as we traverse our career path. You may graduate from college and start as an early career professional. In your professional career, you go through maybe changes in your job and your role. So there's many experiences that you will go through where you are kind of at crossroads, making decisions on what's next. How do I proceed from here on? And you know, what how do I grow my career? So my thoughts on this is, be proactive. So it's, the look at the road ahead. Don't be afraid to explore. Change is the only constant, so embrace change. Change helps us grow as people. Change helps us grow in our professional career path as well. So I think change is a great way to learn, to grow, and to thrive. So I think transitions are very important in that we, as individuals, we are constantly wanting to, or we try to get comfortable in our current surrounding, in our current environment, and we fear change, right? So we have that inertia to move to a different role, and that's only natural. But uh, change is inevitable, right? Change helps us grow. Change helps us develop our path. So it's very important to consider those informed risks. Pursue your passion, right? Let your passion lead the way. And again, comes back to what we talked about earlier, invoking those inner or innate strengths that we have. Following your passion will help you make the best contribution possible. So while transitions are important and change is important. The reason we say informed risks is because we don't want to make those decisions without collecting data, without understanding what's ahead. So, get informed, understand the risks and the transitions that you are about to make, and don't be afraid to take that step once you have that data, because you will grow with every transition. And then finally, a little bit about mentoring. We touched upon it a little bit before as one of the activities also that we encourage within the IEEE Computer Society. Mentoring is a fulfilling experience, not just for the mentee, but also for the mentor. It's a win-win for organizations as well. So we do encourage establishing those mentor-mentee relationships, and you're really investing in that as you traverse your career path. Allows you to share perspectives, experiences, helps us learn, grow, and thrive. So I've been part of these mentor-mentee relationships, the mentoring rings, for several years now, and I've really found them very, very fulfilling, very enriching. I've learned a lot from my mentees as well as my mentors. Um, it really provides you that space where you are free to discuss your thoughts in a safe environment, your share your perspectives, your experiences, your desire to grow your just anything that it's really open discussion on any topic. But it's really helpful. Your mentor could be a role model in your field, in the technical field, someone you aspire to be like, or it could be just someone you feel has the experience that can help you make your career decisions as you grow. So don't be afraid to reach out to someone to initiate this mentor-mentee relationship. You can also leverage the IEEE Computer Society to help you get connected with someone, with a mentor. Meet with the mentor, maybe like once a month or once a quarter is also very helpful and beneficial. But I really encourage this. I've benefited a lot from mentoring, and I highly recommend that for everyone. It's a way in which you can find encouragement, motivation. So you'll always go through these spells of where you may encounter failure, where you may succeed in your work, and it's the cyclical um, aspect that we can get away from. But when you go through those moments of failure, I think this relationship in particular is very important, because it helps provide that motivation, that encouragement to move forward, fosters empowerment as well, builds your leadership skills. A great way to get guidance to achieve your career goals, and how can you really plan your career, plan your, work on a development plan together with your mentor on how to move forward, and how to achieve your near-term and long-term objectives. Identify areas of growth to focus on for skills development. So you may have a certain goal where you want to get to a certain role in the next 3 to 5 years. And the question is, how do I get there? What are the technical skills? What are the soft skills that I need to develop to achieve that? So that's where the development plan comes in, working with your mentor to to draft a development plan together, to identify the areas of training, areas that maybe you need certification of certain skills that will help you to grow in, or maybe certain projects that you need to invest your time in to help you grow in that direction. And then boost confidence, and to safe zone, as we talked about, to discuss career options and opportunities. Also the career transitions, as we talked about in the previous slide. It's a great way to discuss when you're kind of at those crossroads and trying to make a decision on how to move forward or where to go. It's using the mentor-mentee relationship to have those discussions is really beneficial. So that was the last slide on the first part of the talk on the career development. And then, I have a few slides on the IEEE P2851, which is the standardization work on functional safety. But before we dive into that, were there any questions on the first part? We can pause here and maybe I can stop sharing for a bit before we move on.
No, you can go on. Maybe
Should I go on?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. So continue. Okay, so here, so next few slides are more technical because I'll be talking about specifically, this is a specific project. So the IEEE P2851 is a standardization initiative. It's a working group where we are working on drafting a standard on functional safety data format for interoperability within the dependability lifecycle. And before I dive into that, here we go. Oh, somehow I lost the screen. Okay, so it should be sharing again now, I think. Okay, sounds good. So a little bit about what IEEE is doing in terms of standardization. So we do have organization within IEEE called the IEEE SA, or the IEEE Standards Association, that manages all of the standardization initiatives within IEEE. And then also within the Computer Society, we have certain committees that are overseeing activities related to a specific technology or a specific area. In this particular slide set, and the work in P2851 is related to safety that aligns within Functional Safety Standards Committee, or the FSSC, which is one of the committees within the IEEE Computer Society, but that's just one example. We have many other committees as well, say for design automation, for AI, for cybersecurity, and other technologies. So each one of the committees oversees a lot of different standardization initiatives within its scope. Such as the P2851, there are many, many different working groups. And they also foster study groups from the standpoint of initiating new standardization initiatives. So before you form a working group, you can start to discuss a problem statement in a study group, kind of an informal setting. And then once you formulate your problem statement, then you go ahead and request a PAR, or PAR authorization, which is project authorization request, to kind of formalize the standardization initiative. So there's a whole life cycle with respect to standardization, but IEEE Computer Society is very much involved in this, and this is one of the areas of work that I'm very close to as well. So for functional safety, what is the role of IEEE versus other SDOs or other standard development organizations? For functional safety, we have many, many different standards today on the landscape. So we have specific standards, which are basically for a specific application. We have more generic standards, and then we have the basic or the governing standards for each application as well. We are currently putting together a mind map or like a white paper in the FSSC, which shows all of the different standards by domain, by application, by adjacent technology, and how they kind of fit within one another. But long story short, I guess what I'm trying to say is there are different SDOs today, like ISO, like IEC, like RTCA, like SAE, that are already developing these standards, the basic governing standards, the generic standards, the specific standards. So the question is, what is IEEE's role in safety standardization? Well, what IEEE's role is providing implementation guidance, connecting these various standards to being the glue, just like we are in the computer society, kind of connecting various different applications. Our role is more overarching. Our role is more interoperability, and it's connecting the various domains and facilitating data exchange across these boundaries and across the SDOs. So that's the supporting role that IEEE has for safety standardization activities. In the case of P2851, the reason we kicked off this standardization initiative was to solve a problem with respect to that data exchange. So the problem statement was that today we didn't have any common methodology or description language or data format that allows us to deliver the results of safety analysis and safety verification across the supply chain and across the domain. So, for example, if you do safety engineering work for automotive, following ISO 26262, which is the governing standard for automotive, and you try to apply it to another domain like industrial or avionics or medical, there is no easy way to exchange that data because there is no common methodology, language, or data format. So that was one of the common problems that we had. We wanted to provide the solution to streamline the safety engineering process while reducing risks and costs. And so the IEEE P2851 working group was formed. A lot of various companies joined us. These are companies that are either developing tools, or they are IP developers, or they are SoC companies like NVIDIA and Intel, or they are module developers, tier ones, or the end manufacturer, or the OEM. So it's, a group, a working group, which brings together all of these different companies across the supply chain who have this common problem statement, right? Who are trying to develop these common methods and languages and data formats. So that was the goal of the work. Here's the entity. So we kicked off this working group in January of 2020. So it's been over 2.5 years now, and we are just at a point now where we have completed development of our base standard draft that is now going through the approval process. So, the development of the standard can take anywhere from 3 to 5 years. It's a consensus making process. So a lot of the reason it takes long is because you have to get everyone on the same page. Often it means you need to take a vote, or you need to have a discussion to vet the various aspects of the standard, the technical aspects, before you can formalize the content. So today we have 30 companies, IPIC providers, EDA vendors, tier ones, and OEMs, more than 70 active individuals who are part of the working group. You can see the list of all of the companies here, besides myself, who I serve as chair. We have vice chair from Qualcomm, that's Neil Maurer, and we also have secretary from SGS2, that's Werin Chen. And so here's what we were talking about in the first page, where we talked about these governing standards that you see in the white bubbles here on the chart. For automotive, those governing standards are ISO 26262, ISO 21448, and the UL 4600. We have standards for industrial, as you can see here in the second bubble, and then these are the aerospace or avionics standards. What P2851 is trying to do is to address this exchange or interoperability across the domains by providing a common data format. So this is where we are the glue. We provide methods, description languages, data models, databases to allow that data exchange across, but then also allow the data exchange across the supply chain within a bubble, right? So say automotive, I wanted to facilitate the data exchange or the integration of an FMEDA, which is the safety analysis work that I would do as an IP developer, provide that to the next level in the supply chain. That's the SOC company, which takes that data, integrates it. Then the SOC company provides that analysis up the supply chain to the module developer. They take that data and integrate it onto the system. And then the module developer in turn goes ahead and provides the analysis results to the end manufacturer for the item development, and they need to do that level of integration. So making that data exchange seamless across those tiers or across those levels within a bubble is part of the scope of B2851. And then here we talk about, V model development. This chart that you see here on the right is from the ISO 26262 standard for automotive functional safety. As I was talking about the various tiers, the part or unit being the IP, the component or SOC, the system and the item. And as we go through the safety engineering work, all of the design work on this left side and the verification work on the right side, we execute various activities at each of these phases. And this is where we are working on addressing interoperability in each one of those activities in terms of, tools, methods, description languages, databases, not just considering safety, but also considering each of these other adjacent technologies like reliability, like cybersecurity, like SOTIF, and real-time or time determinism. And so looking at the trade-offs with each of these adjacent technologies, that's what we call dependability, right? The dependability is that complete scope, including functional safety together with reliability, security, real-time, and sort of. And so considering the trade-offs to come up with a holistic technological solution or holistic architecture, that's the work that the working group is trying to address. And so the working group came up with a list of needs and requirements in terms of DL, ME, and DB. Here are some examples of some of the topics that were identified by the working group where we have, today gaps with respect to a common language or common method or common database. And so today in the base standard that is drafted, all of these needs are listed as requirements in the framework of a dependability life cycle. So we've defined different phases of the dependability life cycle, and then within each phase we say, here are the requirements for interoperability to be established. These requirements are in the form of MEDL and DB topics that need to be addressed in order for interoperability to be considered. We talked about the Functional Safety Standards Committee in the Computer Society. So this slide just talks about that. I will skip that. And then finally, roadmap, so as every standardization initiative, we have our roadmap with respect to when the base standard will be released. Right now, we are targeting middle of next year. B2851 is a family of standards. So besides the base standard, we also plan to execute derivative or dot standards that are currently in construction or in development. And that work will continue for the next couple of years or so. In addition, we will also work on the next revision of the base standard for including life cycles for automotive, industrial, medical, and avionics safety critical systems. So that brings me to the end of the talk, on the two topics that we talked about, career development, and then kind of looking at one example of that with the B2851 standardization initiative. I'll stop sharing my screen now, but I just wanted to convey my thanks again to all of you for inviting me, and, really honored to be here, and really appreciate the invitation and all of your participation. I hope this was, helpful, but I would really encourage any questions you have. So I look forward to those. And thank you again so much.
Thank you, Madam Jyotika. So it was a really inspiring session, and I appreciate you on behalf of all the students and the whole of the entire University of Bolton. We say thank you for coming. And I believe my colleagues will have quite a number of questions for you too. So please, if you have any questions, kindly ask them now.
Did you want me to monitor the chat, or
I didn't get that.
did you want me to monitor the chat, or okay, well,
I
don't see any questions in the chat.
I'll read out the questions from the chat, but there are no questions yet.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, let me start with my own question. Okay, I think there's a question here. So there's a question from Badanas asking which site can can we find positions for volunteering for IEEE?
Yeah, so if you go to the IEEE global page, the main page, you can navigate there on the various activities and how you can contribute, in the various different, like, let me see if I can find you a link, and I can also send out that link. But it's basically on the IEEE Computer Society homepage, and then there's a page that you can navigate to from there on the various activities and how to volunteer. I can send out a link as well after the talk, or I'll put it in the chat so folks have it. So we'll send that out.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, please go on, Maria.
Okay, thank you, Jyotika, for that wonderful session. Okay, I'm aware that standardization creates a kind of consistency and uniformity. However, I feel that there's a school of thought that believe that, think that standardization can limit creativity. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on that. What do you feel? Is it in actual fact true? Because they are very passionate about the fact that when you standardize, when you have an emphasis on standardization, you limit your creativity because you are just in conformity to a certain path.
I see. It's a very interesting question. So I think that I would say yes and no. So I think, if you join a standards group, if you join a standards working group like the P2851 that I talked about, as a member of the working group, you are allowed to bring in your creative ideas and thoughts and, really bring those to fruition. Now, of course, you have, the working group may vet those. There's a discussion, as it's a consensus making process, and so you have to be able to defend your idea or explain it in a way that it's accepted. But if it is accepted, then yeah, that allows you to bring your thoughts and make those real, right? The reason standards are important is because in a field like, for example, functional safety, in order to achieve certification, the cert authorities require compliance to those, mainstream or governing standards. And so that is a way for them to ensure that the requirements have been implemented and met in a way that is meets the metrics that are defined in the standard. And so to ensure that compliance, standards are important. But in the standards development process, I think creativity it plays a big role and allows you to to bring in your ideas for sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I also put the link there in the chat for the website where you can learn about volunteering with the society. So for who had that question.
Okay, so I have this question. I think quite a number of students come up with brilliant ideas, and then there's this major challenge about bringing it from just the ideation stage to actualizing it.
Mhm.
And I would like to ask that, is there any platform that IEEE offers people to actually, if it's mentorship sessions, if it's funding and all other needs, to actually make the ideas reality?
Yes, it's a great question. So we do send out calls for those kinds of call for ideas and call for participation often. If you monitor the Computer Society page on, say on social media as well, like on LinkedIn or Facebook, you will get you will be able to monitor those calls where you can participate and submit your ideas for consideration. So that's one way. And for example, we had this emerging tech call for ideas proposal, not too long ago, where we were inviting members to participate and submit their ideas, and then we also provided funding for some of the ideas that were selected. So that's one way, but there's other ways as well within your local chapter where you can start a new initiative. Start something new and then just grow it from there from there. Or you can reach out to any one of the board members if you have an idea that you'd like to be heard. I've had people reach out to me just with their thoughts, and then I would connect them with either a committee that is currently overseeing a similar topic, or just add something new. So, we're always willing to listen and grow any idea that that you have, and that you'd like to materialize, or maybe that is synergistic with an existing initiative already. The way we can connect you to.
Well, thank you for that, because I'm actually interested in the field of preventive medicine. Looking at leveraging technology to improve preventive medicine and make it readily available to all without boundaries and barriers. So I think after this session, I'm reaching out to you on LinkedIn.
Sure, absolutely. Sounds great.
So I would like to ask Talia more questions. Isn't it, you may want to turn off your microphone if you're speaking. Okay, thank you. Okay. Do I take it that there are no more questions? No more questions for Madam Jyotika?
I wanted to just say, to add up to one of the questions, I don't know why some of the ladies are not asking it now. Bringing Jyotika is like a dream come true to so many people. We have the IEEE president, the new one now is a lady for the student branch. So they've been asking, what is the position of women in IEEE? In terms of the development of the STEM, in terms of creative ideas. So I wanted you to say something about that to encourage the ladies.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, no, I think it's a great question and really important. I think that one of the main missions of the Computer Society is to support diversity and inclusion. And, as part of that goal, growing the participation of women is especially important to the Computer Society. And we do have a D&I committee that is working actively on initiatives and ways to grow that participation. So we had the D&I since the last 2 years. We'll continue this in 2023 as well. We have a D&I page on the Computer Society where we talk about some of those initiatives and also welcome new ideas. But some of those initiatives include giving scholarships at conferences, scholarships for underrepresented groups. Also, there's like some interviews posted there, some webinars as well, encouraging participation from those diverse groups. I know there's on the board of governors as well, we would like to grow participation. So at all levels, really, at the Computer Society, looking to see how we can encourage more. My personal view on that is it really starts at the younger years, the formative years, where we need to do that encouragement, via outreach programs and initiatives. As a volunteer, even in my previous company at Intel, I was personally going into those middle schools and high schools and having conversation with the students to help steer the women in the direction of STEM and these technical fields, because I think that is where you choose your career at that time and really make that decision. So I think that would be my my thoughts there. But there's been people reaching out to me with their ideas and thoughts on how to grow participation of women. Recently, somebody from Panama, she reached out to me, and I connected her with the D&I group, and she's joined that group now to help foster her ideas and grow them. Certainly reach out if you have other thoughts or ideas. We'd like to listen and hear from you. But I think, as women who are already in this field, I think we also being watched. And so I think it's important to serve as that role model and inspire others. It's kind of that ripple effect, or, waterfall effect, as you call it, because others watch you and think that, if they hesitate, they see it happen, they know it can happen. And so you are paving the way for others, so from that standpoint, I also see that as a responsibility, and each of us has to show that it can be done and to inspire others to follow the same path.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Dr. Celestine, your mic is muted, sir.
Okay, thank you so much for coming. I think there's no other question. And just let me give you our present on behalf of our head of department. And just to give you, she's unavoidably absent. And just quickly, okay, I don't know if you can see that.
Not quite yet, not yet.
You can see it.
It's not showing. Maybe I should share it from my end.
Okay. Okay. Oh, so much appreciate. Are you there? Okay.
So on behalf of the University of Bolton.
We still can see it. Hold on.
Can you see my screen, please?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Let me share my entire screen then.
Okay. Now we can see.
Can you see it?
Hold on.
Yes.
Okay, yes. So on behalf of the University of Bolton, the student staff, and we say thank you, Madam Jyotika, for honoring us with your presence. And this is a digital appreciation certificates that you can put on LinkedIn for attending our program, our session for the Remember to Remember series. We say thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm really humbled and honored to receive this, and it was my great pleasure to be here. I really enjoyed the session, and thank you so much. I applaud the great work that you all are doing, and please keep it up and keep moving forward. Thanks so much.
Right.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. We'll talk more later on the other programs.
Sure.
We'll put them online and put them on our YouTube and our departmental pages. So most of our students who are currently in classes now, we also go through them and listen over and over to the messages. We appreciate you again, Jyotika. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Celestine. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Have a great rest of the day, and thank you. I'm very honored.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Thank you, students. Remember, tomorrow we are rounding up in our how to better your best in research excellence. So see you tomorrow again. Thank you.
See you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.